I'm at the grocery store and I'm stealing. What's worse is that I'm not even stealing a meal deal. I'm looking around to see if anyone is looking, if the security is looking. And when it's clear, I go underneath my jacket and I grab my camera and I start to record. The actress comes in as if we rehearsed it, and while I'm trying to get this shot, I'm also trying to make sure we don't get caught because we really need this one shot for this scene of this short film that I made. And I have other students with me. We're all kind of making sure no one's interrupting the shoot. And even though I'm sweaty, I'm nervous, I'm kind of anxious looking around, this was so fulfilling to me. The fact that we're stealing a shot in Tesco's, but I appreciate that even though it's May, it's deadline season, I've got myself and a bunch of other students helping me on this film project. And before I would have let that be an excuse, I would say like, oh, I have deadlines, so I can't be creative. Like, oh, it's deadline season. It's deadline season, so no one's gonna wanna film. And those doubts were stopping me from doing the thing that I love to do, which is to make films. And why I appreciate this is that I see other students, like, I'm on a creative uni degree, so I see other students, and the only time that they're creative is when it's for a deadline. The only time they make stuff is when a teacher tells them to do so. They're never really creative outside of lesson time. And I think you're not doing yourself any good if the only time you're practicing, if the only time you're honing your craft is during the limited classroom times. And I used to be one of those students, so it just makes it much more, I'm just much more proud of myself that even though that I've had those doubts, I'm proud that I'm still creating. What I appreciate about myself is that the level of preparation that I gave, not only the preparation that I gave for myself when making this film, but the preparation that I gave to the people who are working with me. And let me explain that. So when I'm making a film, obviously there are stuff that I need to do, whether it's like documents or like picturing how the film is gonna turn, or just picturing how the film is gonna come out. And there's that, but then there's also the information that I need to tell to the people that I'm working with. The information that I give to the actress is gonna be different information to the people the information that I give to the actress is going to be different information to the information that I give to the people that are helping me on the camera, for example. So what I liked about myself in the project is that right now it's deadline season. So the last thing, these people, the people that are helping me on this project, the last thing they're thinking about is my project. So they're literally doing me the favor of helping me out on this project when they're not getting paid, when they have other deadlines to work on, and yet they're helping me out. So to make it easy and fun for them as possible, when they're not getting paid for this, they're not getting graded on this, they basically have no benefits to be here other than to make films. So I wanted to make it super easy for them. And how I did that is by making sure that the roles that the people are doing, they can do the best in their roles with what I give them. And what I did was so in this film that I'm making, I have I had to get many different locations to film at. I needed to film in a cafe. I needed to film in a bar. I needed to film in a vintage shop, and I needed to film in a grocery store as well. So with the grocery store, we didn't get permission to film in there, so we just I decided to just turn up on the day and film anyways. But with the other locations, I needed to get permission. So I needed to talk to the business owners of the vintage shop, of the bar, of the coffee shops. I needed their permission so I can shoot there. However, me talking to the business owners and me talking and organizing the locations, that was just me, right? I had to do that for myself, meaning the actress, the cameraman, the other students who were helping me, they really didn't need to have the headache of contacting the coffee shop, the vintage shop, the bar. I didn't want to give the people that I was working with that headache of planning, of scheduling, of the time and place to shoot at these locations. And the reason for that is so I can make it less of a headache for the people who was helping me, and just making it a fun experience for them, because they have other projects and deadlines to work on. So I wanted to make it as easy as possible for them to work on my projects. And so I did it by taking away the headaches for them, by not bringing them into the communication between the shop owners and the location scout, and the location planning. I didn't want to give them this headache. Another way that I tried to make it easy for my team is I made a timetable. So we had, in this short film that I made, we had 2 days to shoot. And for each of the days, I made a timetable. And for every hour of the day, you knew exactly where you were going to be. You knew when the next break was going to be. You knew, just basically all the information you needed to know, you knew. But I had to make sure I wasn't giving them too much information as well. Because again, if I give them too much information, that's just going to give them headaches. And we don't want to give my team headaches, because they're not being paid to be here. And I just want to make it as fun as them as possible. So I gave them a concise simple but very clear timetable, just so they know what they're doing at this time, what they need, what equipment they need, uh, and what other stuff that they may need for the shoot. Um, and another thing that and again, all of the choices I do, the choices to make the schedule for them, the choices to not put them in the communication with the business owners, of the location owners, all of these choices are so there is no headache for the team, so that they can do what they're best at, which is, to make films, whether it's the actress to be performing, whether it's the cameraman to be on the camera. I didn't want to give them all the other noise and headaches. I just wanted them to do their one main thing, whether that's performing, whether that's being on the camera, just one main thing. Another thing that I did to make sure that they're having a good time is I made sure all of their food was sorted. So I saved up a bit more. When budgeting this film. So basically, I spent more so that I could pay for the food for my team, just so they would have less. Because imagine the actress and my team, they would literally be like, I didn't want them to think about what I'll be eating next, what time, or do I have to order, where do I get the Uber delivery to, if I order it now, if I order it now, are we going to be shooting anything? Like, you know what I'm saying? So what I did was I paid for all of their drinks, like their coffee, their meals, like several meals. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure that, again, this experience for them was as fun as possible, as easy as possible for them, with less headache, so they can focus on their main thing, whether that's acting, camera. But the reason why I want to give them less headaches as possible is if my team is well fed, then more likely I am going to have a better film as a result. So yeah, it is selfish. It is selfish of me, but it's funny that by being selfish, I'm actually making it a more enjoyable experience for the team. By focusing on others' enjoyment, I actually get better results, which is a weird thing that I've learned about business and leadership. And yeah, to me, when you hear it a lot on self-improvement YouTube about how find your purpose, bro, and you hate your life, oh yeah, find your purpose, done. But yeah, like ever since that I've actually taken that seriously, like finding your purpose, the advice of, yeah, just find your purpose, bro. It's so simple, but in the last few years, I've actually focused on it. Like, I focus on that, and life doesn't need to be more complicated. I know it can be, and it seems to be at times, but man, when when I'm just recording in Tesco's or scheduling times to shoot so the project runs smoothly and so my team is well fed. Like this whole process of making a film, it just makes me feel like a kid again. Like asking for other students to help me out, communicating with the actors and actresses on the vision that I want for this film, and also, you know how many rejections I had to face when, because my film, I need a lot of different places. I need like a coffee shop and a bar and a vintage shop. The amount of places that I've been to ask if I could use their location, and the amount of times that they said no, and the fact that I'm still pursuing it, like even though I am getting rejected, but the fact that I'm still going after the project, the film, the dream, that's what makes it so fulfilling. Regardless of the result, the fulfilling thing is, so imagine in my situation, the end result is the film. But actually, what's actually fulfilling about it is bringing people together, is sorting out all the different locations, bringing the story, getting the idea of a story in my head and bringing it to life, and choosing the right talent and the right people to help me. That is the life itself. From bringing something from like that, I'm literally making something from nothing, an idea from my head, nothing, into reality, into a film. And man, that is life in itself. So I'm glad, even though I have the doubts and excuses and the limiting expectations of myself, regardless of all that, I still choose to create. Even if it's in deadline season, even though I have other projects to work on, I have projects that the teacher is telling me to do, I still choose to do the things that make me smile, that the things that when I do, it feels like I'm on the right path. Like the things that I do when I'm shooting in Tesco's, where I'm paying for the meals of my team, these are the things that make me feel like I'm living true to my purpose. It feels like I'm doing the things that I have been put on this earth to do. Like, thank you.